This is you, a grown man, fully employed, technically an adult, about to spend one single day planning a vacation with your partner. She opens a spreadsheet. You open a bag of chips and somehow manage to make crunching sound like a strategic contribution to the conversation. This is the first sign. Not a red flag. More like a small beige flag that everyone agreed to ignore for years, the same color as the couch you're currently sinking into. She asks, "Where do you want to go?" You say, "I don't know, somewhere nice?" She asks, "Beach or mountains?" You say, "Whatever you want, babe," which sounds romantic, generous even, like you're the easiest partner alive. But here's the thing, nobody tells you about whatever you want, babe. It's not flexibility, it's outsourcing. With a smile attached, so it doesn't look like outsourcing. You're not avoiding a decision because you're chill. You're avoiding it because deciding means you could be wrong. And being wrong, even about a hotel with a slightly disappointing pool, feels like a personal attack on your entire identity. So you don't choose. You just orbit, like a moon. A fully grown, financially independent moon with a job, a car payment, and somehow still the decision-making range of a Capri Sun. She pulls up 3 flight options, 3 browser tabs glowing in the dark like she's defusing a bomb. You glance at your phone, not to help, to check if anyone liked your gym selfie from Tuesday. Priorities. She says, "Okay, I think this one, 5 hours layover, but it's $200 cheaper." You say, "Sounds good." You did not look at the screen, not once. You would agree to a 5-hour layover in a war zone right now if it meant this conversation ended faster. This is Wave 1, the disappearing act. Wave 2 starts about 40 minutes later when she asks the deadliest question in any relationship. So what do you actually want to do there? And suddenly the man who couldn't pick a flight 5 minutes ago has opinions. Loud, cinematic, documentary narrator opinions. I don't want some boring resort thing. I want it to feel authentic. Like real food, real culture, not some tourist trap. Which is a beautiful speech, very passionate, delivered with the gravity of a man liberating a small nation, coming from someone who, 12 seconds earlier, didn't know which ocean the destination was next to. This is the child man's favorite trick. Zero input on the boring decisions, maximum opinions on the fun ones. He won't pick the hotel. He will absolutely tell you the hotel pool doesn't look that nice after she already booked it, paid for it, and printed the confirmation. She starts comparing Airbnbs. You start narrating your own commentary track like a slightly judgmental nature documentary. That one looks sketchy. That host has bad reviews. Why is it so far from the center? None of these are decisions. They're just vibes with confidence and a British accent you don't actually have. She finally says, "Okay, then which one do you want?" And here it is, the freeze. Picture it like a video game character glitching against a wall, just quietly vibrating in place, waiting for the game to load a decision that never comes. Not because you're stupid, you're not. You can debug a spreadsheet at work. You can negotiate a car price down 4,000 euros without blinking. But here, in this very specific moment, your brain just sits down, crosses its legs, pulls out a tiny folding chair and refuses to participate. Because at work, if you're wrong, it's a mistake. Here, if you're wrong, it's a referendum on whether you're a good partner. And some small ancient part of your brain decided a long time ago that the safest move is to never be the one who chose. So you say the sentence. The sentence every child man has said at least once a week since puberty, "I don't really care, as long as we're together." It sounds sweet. It is, statistically, one of the least helpful sentences in the English language, right up there with, "It's not you, it's me," and "I'll be ready in 5 minutes." Somewhere along the way, You became so easy to be with that nobody actually needed anything from you anymore. You confuse being low maintenance with being emotionally absent. Two very different things wearing the same harmless smile. Wave 3. The logistics vanish. She's now deep into the real work. Travel insurance. Adapter plugs. Whether your passport expires in 4 months, which apparently is a problem, even though the trip is in 3. You did not know this. You will not look into this. You will instead ask her if she already knows this, as if she is now also your personal government liaison. She asks you to just book the airport parking. One task, 5 minutes. A motivated raccoon could do it with a stolen credit card and mild curiosity. You say yes, you do not do it. Not because you're lazy, exactly. It's more like the task enters your brain, sits in a waiting room, flips through a 2-year-old magazine, and never gets called. 3 days later, she asks, "Did you book the parking?" And you say, with the calm confidence of a man who has done nothing, "I'm on it." You are not on it. You are on the couch, which at this point has basically filed for adoption. This is the part where it stops being funny, even to you. Because somewhere in the back of your head, a quiet, annoying voice says the thing you don't want to hear. She isn't planning this trip with you. She's planning it for you. And you're just hoping nobody notices the difference. Like a man slowly backing out of a group photo. The turning point. It happens over something stupid. It always does. She asks one more question. Something small, like, "Do you want the window or aisle seat?" And you say the line on autopilot. "I don't care, whatever's easier for you." And she puts the laptop down. Not angrily, just done. The kind of done that's louder than yelling. She's not even annoyed anymore. She's tired in that specific way people get when they've been carrying something heavy for so long they forget they're carrying it. "Do you realize," she says, "you haven't made a single decision this entire trip? Not one. Not the flights, not the hotel, not the seats, not the parking. I'm not your travel agent. I'm supposed to be your partner." And there it is, the mirror moment. The camera, metaphorically, zooms in on your face very slowly, like a man realizing the ATM just ate his card. Because here's what psychology actually calls this: a mild case of Peter Pan syndrome. Not the cute, whimsical, flying around Neverland version. The real one. A grown man who never quite signed up for the boring adult parts of love. The planning, the deciding, the small daily acts of showing up, while still expecting all the comfort of a relationship with none of the logistics. Peter Pan didn't grow up because Neverland never asked him to. You didn't grow up in this relationship because, for years, nobody made you. It's not that you can't decide. You decide things every day. What to buy, what to watch, which shirt to wear. The problem is that decisions inside relationships feel different. Because once you choose something for both of you, you can disappoint someone you love. And somewhere along the way, avoiding disappointment started feeling safer than participating. She never wanted perfect decisions. She wanted proof that the trip belonged to both of you. You never learned that making decisions is one of the ways people feel loved. The exhausting part is, you genuinely don't experience it as laziness. It feels like ease, like being low maintenance. Right up until the person doing the maintenance finally puts the tray down and walks off set. You sit there, chip dust on your shirt like confetti from a party you didn't earn. 5-hour layover booked. Passport about to expire. And one very simple, very unwanted thought finally lands, slow and clear like the last line of a movie trailer. You thought avoiding conflict made you a good partner. It mostly made you unavailable. You weren't hard to love. You were hard to build a life with. Being easy was never the same thing as being there.